So looking at the first 2 pages of the Unearthed Arcana, I don't even think this is pretty much the exact same as like the disclaimers for the other Unearthed Arcanas.
Yep.
I don't see much here that we'd really need to go through. I do like in the roadmap. I hadn't really noticed this before though. The what's ahead on 1 D&D playtests. I think the thing I'm excited about the most is the revised encounter building rules and new and revised monster stats, because if there's the one major complaint I have about D&D, it's that creating encounters is a bit of a nightmare.
Agreed. My goal is no longer balance, it's just to kill my players. It's just easier. It's just easier.
Just kill them.
Just kill them.
Just fine.
No, I like to create fun encounters, but at low levels is not too bad. But once you get to those mid to high levels, their system for balancing is you just throw it out the window. It doesn't work at all.
No, you have to 100% after level 5. Yeah. You have to play to your players.
Yeah.
You have to know what they do and put things in place to make sure they have fun, or they'll either get shit on in the encounter or shit on the encounter.
100%.
I've had level 5 players take on a CR 14 encounter like fucking gravy.
I throw especially with Curse of Strahd, I throw higher CRs than I should at you guys all the time.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
Mistwalkers at your level, I throw CR 25s at you guys and you just fucking crush it. You guys killed an ancient dragon, no problem.
What do you do when you get to those 18, 19, 20? The highest CR encounters 27, I think.
What, with the Tarask?
The Tarask is easy. You can defeat that at level 5.
Fair. That's also the point of that's where you get into homebrew and start getting into things stronger than what you find in the generic book.
You have to get into the homebrew.
You have to. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've got our cleric table up here. Clerics draw power from the realms of the gods and harness it to work miracles. Blessed by a deity, a pantheon, or another immortal entity, a cleric can reach out to the divine magic of the outer planes, where gods dwell, and channel that energy to bolster people and to battle foes. Because their power is a divine gift, clerics typically associate themselves with temples or shrines dedicated to whatever deity or immortal force unlocked their magical ability. Harnessing divine magic doesn't rely on study or training, yet a cleric might learn formulaic prayers and ancient rites that help them focus their minds and spirits on drawing power from the outer planes. Even a cleric who declines to worship their divine benefactor might perform their benefactor's rites if doing so helps the cleric feel connected to the immortal realms. Not every acolyte or officiant at a temple or shrine is a cleric. Some priests are called to a simple life of temple service, carrying out their devotion through prayers and rituals, not through magic. Some of the most influential high priests are incapable of harnessing divine magic, and a few of them feel threatened when a cleric appears. Many can pray, and some mortals claim to speak for the gods, but few can marshal the power of those gods the way a cleric can.
Mm-hmm.
Already looking at this table, we're seeing big differences, the biggest being cleric doesn't get subclass until 3rd level.
Yeah, well, let's get into it one at a time so we can each go into this here.
Yeah.
As we go down.
All right, Ked, you can take us.
All right, I'm going to skip most fluff texts because if we're going to read all of the fluff texts, we're going to be here forever. I'm just going to get into the rules bits. So creating a cleric is your basic stuff for every other class. Basically, the saying that you're going to get your hit points, proficiencies, some trainings. We can skip that first bit of the text. Hit points, they're still D8s. Awesome. No change there. Proficiencies, wisdom, charisma. I believe that's what they had before. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Skills, persuasion, religion, and then choose 2. That's a little bit different. Actually, they get more skills now.
Yeah.
Or choose 2, sorry. Or choose 2. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
It's the same.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. History, medicine. Okay, so it's about the same. Never mind.
Yeah.
Simple weapons. Just simple weapons. Tools, none. They get light and medium armor and shields right off the bat. Same thing as before. So, none of their proficiencies have changed. They give you examples of starting equipment, which, once again, the UAs do a lot of examples for spells, equipment, shit like that. Multi-classing, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you have to have the 13 in their primary ability, just like before. And then it says what you get for multi-classing, so we can skip that. All right, let's get into the meat. First level, channel divinity. So, like, this is the first thing that we're seeing different. They're getting their channel at level 1 right away. So you gain the ability to channel divine energy. All right, you can start with 2 effects: Divine Spark and Turn Undead. So they're adding a thing here with this Divine Spark. Well, I think I know what we're getting to.
I think, that's nice to have options for the channel divinity, because before, outside of your subclass, it was just turn undead, right?
Yeah, you got turn undead and then your subclass stuff. And then each time you use it, choose which one you want, of course. So you get it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. That's a big boost compared to what it was. Because it used to be just like a couple of, like, it was once until level 6. And then it went up very slowly after that. So you're going to get your channel divinity a lot more than you used to. And you regain it on long rest.
You can do it 3 times at level 18.
Mind you, channel divinity, it used to be less times, but didn't it used to come back on a short rest?
When you finish a short, it came back on a short rest. And it's just saying long rest now? Yeah.
I think they're getting rid of things coming back on a short rests for the most part, because they realized the mechanics, it was kind of wonky whether groups would use it or not.
Yeah, they seem to be getting rid of short rests, which I don't really like, because I like short rest. I like the way the adventuring day works.
I think they're still going to use it for like basic hit dice healing, but yeah, a lot of the abilities we've seen the other UAs so far that are like comes back on a short rest don't seem to be as much of a thing now. Interesting. When you use the effect, the DC's your spell save DC. Yeah. So Divine Spark, let's get into this. As a magic action, which is one of the new actions we saw explained in, I think it was the last UA. You point your holy symbol at another creature within 30 feet. So it's 30 feet. Focus. You roll a number of d8s equal to your proficiency bonus. Add them together, and you either restore hit points to the creature or force the creature to make a con save. And it's a save or suck for. It's a save for half.
It's not a save. Oh my god.
Save for half and radiant damage.
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. A healer harm, built-in healer harm. This is going back to older editions. 3.5 and Pathfinder First Edition. Just cleric could do that with their channel. It looks like they're just getting it back. So they're bringing back the old times, because it's not a bubble or anything per se, but it's single target at least. But yeah, they're getting their channel healer harm abilities back. That's pretty cool. I like that.
The roll a number of d8s equal to your proficiency bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That's gross.
It's a cool way of scaling, though. Like,
so it's 2D. Like at early levels, that's strong. 2d8 healing on a friend, like at like levels 1 to 3 is a big deal.
Huge, and that's really good now, because like you can use your channel divinities for that, then save your spells for like offense and buffing.
As you go up in level, it becomes a little less effective, but it's never like, it's not nothing. Like you get up to the higher levels and you get like 5 or 6 d8s. You could roll shit, but
it also means, though, like as you're going up with that proficiency bonus, that you can use it more often.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, so you can heal 5 d8s 5 times every long rest, which is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, no, it's an extra healing you don't have to spend your spell slots on. So you're not pigeonholed in having to spend all your fucking spell slots on cure.
Yeah.
Healing word, which
again,
what people would normally take.
As we were discussing last time, this is a change that's really making Cleric fall into its role in a more efficient way.
Yeah,
like it was the same thing with the Ranger and stuff like that. Like if they're going to be typecast into like those certain roles, like at least they're going to do it effectively now without having to feel like they're sacrificing stuff.
The only issue I have is the fact that like they are more typecast into it now. You can't play a cleric that's not expected to be a bit of a heal bot. But I mean, it's a role playing game. It's a role. Like yeah.
Well, you can also use it to damage though. Which is cool.
Not too bad. Not too bad. So turn undead. So it's a magic action for that as well. Same thing within 30 feet. Each undead within 30 feet. So this one is a bubble. Instead of a single target. You give them the dazed condition if they fail their save for a minute or until they take damage or are incapped or die. So they don't even get to make the save again. Well, the only action the creature can take is dash, and if it moves, it must end that move further from you than where it started. Yeah, so it's a save or suck, and they don't get to make further saves.
Maybe it specifies in dazed that you get to make a save?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure what dazed is. And it's
dazed
like
itself doesn't have... Well, they basically explain dazed right below it. Just they can take the dash, and that's it. That's all they can do. Now, I don't know about their wording here. So dash is the only action they can take, but just like an issue within 5th edition, they don't mention anything about bonus actions or reactions. So they still get their bonus actions and reactions, legendary actions.
Yeah, it's true.
But still, it cuts out their primary actions, which is nice.
In the actual glossary for it, it says limited activity. You can move or take one action on your turn, not both. You also can't take a bonus action or a reaction.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it does lock them down. So all they can do with this turn undead is move away from you. That's it. That's all they can do. And it's a save or suck, and then that's it. If they fail, it's for a minute. That could, if it's an undead encounter, that can shut down the encounter.
Yeah.
No problem. Oh my. So that's pretty strong. That's beefed up the turn undead feature, I do believe. What was it before?
Yeah. It's a little niche, but it's
Before it was as an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censoring the undead. Each undead that you can see or that can see or hear you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. If a creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
Yeah.
A turn creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can use only the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there is nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action.
So it's pretty close, except that they had a few more tools, like being able to use the dodge action and stuff before. If they were trapped. Now that doesn't even give them that. They're just locked down unless they move away, and that's it.
Additionally, they took away that ability to come out of it if you get damaged. Like, it's just their undead is locked down.
No, it says if they take damage.
Does it say it?
Yeah, until it takes any damage.
Or until it takes any damage or is incapacitated.
Oh, so until it takes... So it doesn't get a save with the damage, it's just knocked out of it.
Yeah. Have the zombies just sprint into the wall, take 1 damage, boom.
Huh.
Fuck your ability.
So it's similar enough, but it looks like there's a few small changes. They can't do like dodge action or like any other secondary things. Just that's it. They can move until you hurt them. Not bad.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you want me to continue on in spellcasting, or someone else want to take over?
You can keep going.
All right. Spellcasting. You've learned to cast spells. Moving on to the next page. So prepared spells. You have the following spells prepared. Okay, those are the suggested ones. You don't have to prepare those. Alternatively, you can prepare 3 0-level spells, known as cantrips, and 2 first-level spells of your choice. So that's pretty much the same. Any spell you prepare for this class must be a divine spell, because once again, reminding everybody that they're using the 3 lists in this, the Divine Primal Arcane. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can pray or meditate to replace the spells. So it's just like before, you have access to the entire divine spell list. At higher levels in this class, you can prepare more spells as per the table, which we just saw the table. And then it gives an example. Consult the prepared cleric spell list section for recommendations, which if it's anything like the last UA, the recommendations weren't the greatest. We could prepare better. Spell slots. The cleric table shows how many spell slots you have at each level to cast your cleric spells of first level and higher. That's really the exact same as normal.
Yeah.
Wisdom is your spellcasting ability. Spellcasting focus, you can use a holy symbol.
So spellcasting didn't change at all?
No, it's exactly the same. Second level, Holy Order. Now this is where things start changing up a little bit. So it's not a subclass, but it's almost like the Warlock, like pact bond or whatever. Like it's an extra specialization of some kind.
Yep.
Choose one of the following. Protector, trained for battle. You gain martial weapon proficiency and heavy armor training. So it looks like this is the stuff, you would have gotten this in your subclass before. Now it's just like a base. You choose which one you want.
Which I like, because, maybe you want to be... You don't want to be a forge cleric, but you still want to have that martial weapon and heavy armor proficiency, right?
I like it. I like it as well. It's just giving you more toys to play with, more customization. Scholar, study and teaching about lore. You gain proficiency in 2 of the following skills. Whenever you make an ability check using either skill, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your wisdom modifier. So you get to supercharge 2 skills if you're a scholar. It's not bad. Thaumaturge, you can prepare an extra cantrip from the divine spell list. In addition, you regain 1 expended use of your channel divinity whenever you finish a short rest. Oh my.
Oh shit.
Considering channel divinity got that bit of a boost.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Thaumaturge is pretty strong. They're all pretty good. The Scholar one I see very circumstantial. Unless you're doing like a full skill monkey build, I don't see people taking that as often.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one seems a little underwhelming. I like that there's more options. I kind of wish that classes were just like, a cleric has expertise in religion because a cleric would be good at religion.
You'd think that.
Yeah. Or at least like this kind of gives them that option to have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing that I'm seeing here is as opposed to having your subclass at your first level, you're kind of like building up to it. Cause level 1 and level 2 are pretty, people tend to just like use them as tutorial levels. So coming in as a guy who can already be blessed by his god is kind of weird, but if he's like it gives you time to like feel out the character, so you don't have to come in devoted to a certain god. You can kind of let the character tell you who they're going to be by level 3.
Yeah.
Like level 2, you get to make that first decision where you decide like, okay, this is kind of who they are. And then third level, you get to make a second really good decision on who this character is and is going to be for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I'm wondering if they're trying to standardize subclasses for every class being at 3rd level.
Which why not? Because I bet that it's a really good point that you already at first level. There's so much for those spellcasters who have to choose their subclasses at lower level to try and decide on when they haven't interacted with the character at all.
Yeah. And they haven't seen the campaign, they haven't played the character, they haven't talked to their party, and they're like, I'm going to worship this god and devote my entire character to this god. And, this gives them more options.
Before someone complains, well, what about sorcerer? They should know right away. Well, who says they know right away? You're just beginning to show signs of your innate magical prowess. Maybe it's not till 3rd level that you start like actually seeing it manifest what your real bloodline is. So
exactly. Like it's kind of that like backwards canon.
Yeah.
Like you're magical, and then whatever you do, we say like, okay, well, you were blessed by the shadow god or whatever, because that's the direction the character is going. And I like that, and I really like that for the cleric, because again, levels 1 and 2 is really just learning who your character is, and
the only one I'd have a somewhat difficult time with is the warlock, because like the big shtick is the fact that you got your power by making a connection to your patron. But I mean, you could probably still figure it out somehow.
Yeah,
that's true. That is very true, actually.
Well, and the idea, of course, is that like at level 1, you're still better than the average human, right? Or the average like being. So it's that idea more that when you start, you have that innate magical ability that may draw your warlock patron or draw that god to you, which opens up story elements.
Or maybe they just explain it that you made a pact, but you didn't exactly know who you made a pact with. There was just some powerful entity. That's an easy way to explain it too.
If some weird fucking demonic creature popped into my living room and offered me immortal power without me knowing who they were, I'd take it right away.
I said yes. Who was it? Don't know. Find in 2 levels.
Don't know. Yeah, wouldn't question it.
So 3rd level looks like we get our subclass. The only example, it looks like they say take the life domain or other subclass. So I'm assuming life domain's the subclass they show in this UA. Provides you shit, basically it says. Cool. 4th level's feat, that is not changed. Just like in the other UA, you get the ability score improvement feat or another feat of your choice. Part of me still wishes that they would just separate feats and ability score improvements entirely. Because I myself cannot really see a reason to take a full ability score improvement feat because it's just giving you a +2 to a stat, when basically all of the other feats now are going to give you +1 to a stat and a bunch of other toys.
I disagree, and only because nothing really changes. If you think about it, the ASI was a feat the whole time because you had to choose between it or a feat. So, I mean...
Yeah, I didn't like it before either.
You didn't like it before. Okay, so that's fair. Like, I mean, that it hasn't really changed much. They're just making it a feat.
It's worse now because before only some of the feats were half feats and had the +1 and stuff. Now they're trying to standardize it that basically almost all of the feats have that.
We also haven't really, like, I mean, we've seen some feats, but we haven't seen, like, advanced feats and how they're going to work and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I just think, like, that extra +1 to a stat versus, like, extra toys from feats, it just doesn't feel like the ASI is as worth it for, like, +1 on something.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And the fact that there's also an array of items, like you're giving up powerful feats to get 20 strength, and then you find a belt that gives you 24 strength.
Yeah.
It's, ASIs just are more and more not worth it.
That depends on the DM, though, because coming upon something like a belt of giant strength is depending on that generosity.
True.
Yeah.
People do tend to play D&D more of a multi-haul than it actually was originally designed for. Like, once again, you're not supposed to find your first magical item till, like, 5th level by the rules.
Yeah.
We're just used to, like, throwing magic items at them, even though, like, by the time they hit level 20, they actually should only have a few magical items.
I with my Monday game, I've kept it pretty solid. I've with consumables and attuned items. I give a lot of, like...
Yeah.
low-level attunement items. So now they all, like, have been finding... we're just getting to, like, rare items now. They're, like, level 9. But I give them a lot of random shit. It's just they can't use it all because they're all jacked out on attunement slots. So I feel like that's a good way of balancing it, but...
Side note, I know I got a little distracted here, but side note, I wish items were kind of like the artifacts in Cypher, where everything has a depletion rate. Basically, everything has a chance to be consumable. Because then you can give out toys all you want, because they're going to go away eventually.
I can't say anything. I gave Cat a fucking toy for his new character that basically makes him invincible for a minute.
Well, it didn't help. I rolled, like, the most powerful roll out of that shit, like, right away.
But that's arguable. Like, arguably, that's the most powerful because it can do, like, 4 fireballs before you deplete the charges on it. But Adam and I were talking about the item when I made it, and arguably the most dirty one, I think it was the 4, which you hold on to the rod or whatever, and if you drop to 0, you don't.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah, you just don't.
There's no caveat. There's no, like, it only happens once. There's no once per round. It's just every time.
Oh, it's
it's
every time. I didn't read that closely.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Orcish Ferocity was just like once.
Yeah, BHG sent it to me. He's like,
Oh,
"Oh, I
fuck.
made this. Can you check it out?" And I'm like, "Okay, that is ridiculously powerful." And he's like, "Okay."
All right.
Like the thing though about that campaign is like Varjo has a staff of the Magi and has had it since level 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
That's pretty
it's
crazy.
But I mean that campaign, it's like the stronger toys you have, the more I get to fuck with you.
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, you're gonna throw shit at us. Like you already are throwing shit at. We have strong shit, but we've still come very close a couple of times, and I'm on my 3rd character. So, all right, where we get sidetracked, RPG people get sidetracked. That's what happens. If anyone's
That's
watching this
okay.
and they're like, "Well, you're getting sidetracked," yeah, I know. Fuck off.
If you're watching this and you don't understand the references, go over to my fucking YouTube channel and watch Curse of Strahd, Hijinks in Barovia. Check out the links below.
Even when I do the edit for my YouTube page later, I want to leave that in. Go to BHG's. The links are going to be down and below. Go to BHG's YouTube channel and check out his live streams because I'm in them and I'm important.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, we're shouting out everybody right now. If you are watching on the YouTube live play, because I'm just going to upload this to YouTube when it's done, like I did with the other one, all of the links are below for Ked, for Talking with Adam. When you're watching the videos for Pokemon 5e and for Curse of Strahd, all the links for those people are in the descriptions below. Go check them out, subscribe to them, follow them, show them lots of love. These are very talented people that need your eyes on them, so go check them out.
And the Friendo Discord.
I don't think I have that linked.
Oh, really? I have the Friendo and the Cypher Unlimited Discord in mine.
I didn't want internet randos just jumping in without us being able to vet them first.
I think most of our community's internet randos at one point. I was sort of an internet rando. Well, I mean, you dragged me in, but
Goddamn right I did.
We all got together. Like all of the friendos got together. It all roots back to Platt.
I can see that. He's a person. He's a thing.
That's the reason why I joined the friendos.
If you follow all the roots, all the people,
Everything leads back to Platinum Dragon X.
yeah, except Count. Count I met on Twitch
There you go.
for Rocket League.
All right.
But anyway,
Let's get back into this. 5th level, you get Smite Undead. You can cause your Turn Undead feature to smite the undying. Whenever you use Turn Undead, you roll a number of d8s equal to your proficiency bonus and add the rolls together. Each undead that fails its saving throw against the use of Turn Undead takes radiant damage equal to the roll's total.
clerics win undead encounters.
Jesus, yeah. So
But
they're
as-
not only locking
as they
them
should.
down, but now they're getting the fucking the like radiant damage of the first ability.
Yeah, clerics should lock down undead encounters, and I think that's the point of these revisions. Like, through the earlier editions, like cleric was your go-to for the fucking dealing with undead encounters because they had such powerful
Turn Undead used to have levels where it's just like it destroys skeletons and zombies. Like they didn't like not even damage, just like skeletons and zombies are just destroyed at this level. Like they used to be way bigger than undead. Like a lot of these features we're seeing so far, it's like they're bringing back some old rules and like updating them, which is nice.
To be fair, the level 5, like the 5th level old cleric ability is destroy undead, which just destroys the undead below a certain CR. Like at 5th level, anything half CR or lower is just destroyed if they fail to save. So, you know,
I like the damage thing better. I think this is an upgrade.
Yeah.
Because then you're still hurting the beefier undead.
Yeah. It's just like more general, which is good. And the thing that I like about it is it's shorter. There's no table, there's no remembering, there's no looking at your sheet. You just know that I do.
Mm-hmm.
They all make a save. I roll dice.
It's very much within the design philosophy they were going for with making D&D 5e originally, like streamlined and a little bit system lighter compared to what it used to be, or alternatives like Pathfinder, which are much more crunchy than D&D is.
And the thing is, like, a lot of the rules are just like that. Like that doesn't need a table. A lot of the rules just have weird caveats to get around certain specific situations, and it makes for like walls of text for spells.
I guarantee I can hear it now. The comments from those guys from that one community being like, "What is with you not liking tables?" Like, I don't dislike tables, but if you can simplify the rule to just make it like it's this instead of having to look something up mid game and interrupting gameplay, is that not better? Like,
listen,
I love tables.
I'm in my mid-30s. My brain is turning to fucking mush. The less I have to keep track of, the better.
Yeah, like I love tables. I don't really like tables for like character creation that I have to remember and pull up.
Yeah.
I like tables where it's like wild magic tables or item tables or, you know, things that you roll on, and like roll tables are great, but having to flip through your book to find this to remember
reference
what CR we have of this zombie so we can see if which of these zombies are which CRs. It's a fucking hassle. Just roll D8s and do damage.
Yeah, reference tables are no, we don't need them. We don't need them.
It's extra.
6th level subclass feature. 7th level is Blessed Strikes. Divine powers infuse you in the battle. When a creature takes damage from your cantrips or weapons, you deal a D8 radiant damage to that creature. Once you deal this damage, you can't use this feature again till the start of your next turn.
No shit.
So once again, that's sort of like what you would have gotten from your subclasses before, except they've combined them together so you get both, and it's not part of the subclass.
And like, you just get extra radiant damage.
You just get extra radiant damage. Just once a turn, you get an extra D8 on either a cantrip or weapon attack. Interesting.
It doesn't scale.
This cleric in Curse of Strahd would terrify me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In a game where you know there's going to be undead, clerics are a fucking powerhouse now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder
if there's going
to be subclasses later that's going to change some of this stuff, so it's like also against like fiends or something like that too.
As long as they don't break a good thing with the Storm Cleric, I don't care what they do with the other subclasses. Just don't listen to me now. Don't fuck with my Storm Cleric. It is fine the way it is.
That maximized damage thing, I don't know. They might, because it's a lot of people abuse that. They found ways to do like maximized lightning balls and shit like that.
If they try to fix something that isn't broken, I will just keep using the 2014.
It's a little broken. I don't mind it personally. Like, whatever. As a GM, generally I can handle anything you can throw at me. But I don't know. There's some contention with the Storm Cleric. 8th level's Feat. 9th level's Holy Order. You get a second option from the Holy Order thing. So you could take like Protector and Thaumaturge, get like heavy armor, and get the extra like channels and spell like cantrip and stuff. Or if you wanted the scholar skills, you could get that, and like Thaumaturge if you want to go like full casterly or something. So that's pretty cool. So at 9th level you get a second one of those. Subclass feature at 10. 11th, Divine Intervention, which it's like one level later than it was, so it's not a big deal. As an action, describe the assistance, roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level. The GM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any divine spell is appropriate. If the intervention occurs, can't use this feature again for 2d6 days, otherwise you can use it again after you finish a long rest. I don't think that's terribly different.
No, I think that's about the same.
It's 2d6 days instead of just like a straight up 7 days. But, I mean, that could be shorter, that could be longer, and 7 is the average of 2d6. The bell curve means you're likely to roll that anyways. Yeah, that looks pretty much the same. They say the 20th level it succeeds automatically. I imagine it's going to be described later. They probably have that still. It looks about the same. Feat, subclass feature, Feat. Greater Divine Intervention. Yeah, there it is. It succeeds automatically. No roll required, and you can use it again after 2d4 days. Oh, okay. So the bell curve for 2d4 is 5? No. Yeah, something about like that.
Yeah, 5.
So you're more likely to roll that. That's not too bad. Feat, and then your epic boon. Then they give us standard cleric spells, which they're not bad. Cure Wounds, Shield of Faith. Once again, Healing Word is something normally I would have taken instead of Cure Wounds, but because I think it's, unless they're redoing the way it works for unconsciousness, which I haven't seen yet in the previous UA, Healing Word is still superior to Cure Wounds in basically every way, because you generally wait to heal someone until they've already been downed.
Yeah.
And this way you've got range. Because, like, extra couple of healing points, not going to do a big difference. You only need 1 hit point to be up. So we'll see. Cleric subclass. Does someone else want to take this, or shall I keep going?
Mr. Adam?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to skip over the flavor stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
This section presents the one subclass, the life domain.
Fucking ingrates, they wrote that for you!
Fuck 'em!
Fuck 'em!
Worse than Kanye West.
Oh.
This domain is associated with agricultural deities. That's the important part of the flavor text. That's what you really need to know. So 3rd level, your domain spells. Your connection to this divine domain ensures you always have certain spells ready when you reach a cleric level specified in the life domain. That is about the same thing.
They definitely changed up that spell list. So 3rd level, because there's no 1st level now. So 3rd level, Lesser Resto and Prayer of Healing. 3rd level for the old one was Lesser Resto and Spiritual Weapon.
I think the new list makes more sense. Spiritual Weapon for the life domain didn't make as much sense.
Yeah, and 5th, Beacon of Hope, Revivify. 5th, they've got Mass Healing Word and Revivify. So that's going along with your Healing Word, like being more important than like a Cure Wounds.
Mm-hmm.
7th, Aura of Life and Death Ward, and before it was Death Ward and Guardian of Faith.
Okay, yeah.
And then 9th, Mass Cure Wounds is the same, but now it's Greater Resto, and before it was Raised Dead.
Oh yeah, that definitely. Yeah,
I agree with most of the changes. I'm a little torn on the loss of Raised Dead as an automatic, but I think Mass Cure Wounds probably does make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, is every cleric gonna raise dead though?
I mean, you'll still have the option. It's still in the cleric spell list.
Yeah.
Like, these are just ones that you get that don't go against your spell.
Yeah,
so that you can prepare, right?
I think I agree with these changes. I think it makes more thematic sense.
100%.
You'll see Raised Dead in the death domain for sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just gonna pull up the actual life domain here.
Yeah, I got like one thing on one screen and then like the main thing on my main screen.
Let's compare the 6th level stuff now. Preserve life. Oh no, you get something else at 3rd level.
Yeah.
Disciple of life. Your healing spells are empowered by life itself. When a spell you cast with a spell slot restores hit points to a creature, that creature regains additional hit points on the turn you cast the spell. The additional hit points equal 2 plus the spell's level.
Wow.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like an automatic 3.
It is actually worse than it used to be. It is actually worse. It is 2 plus the spell's level, which is what Disciple of Life used to be at 1st level. But there's a big change in this. It says when you cast with a spell slot. Before it just says when you use a spell of 1st level or higher. Which would have been scrolls, staves, wands. It didn't matter, racial abilities. Didn't matter where the spell came from. Now it's a spell slot. So it's only spells you cast with a spell slot.
That's an interesting nerf.
So you can't use your channel divinity to heal somebody and get that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get the +3 on your channel divinity because it's not a spell slot.
That's why though, because they beefed up channel divinity.
Well, it wouldn't have worked before anyways because it said a spell rather than an ability. Yeah. But still, like you could have done it from a scroll, a staff. Like you could have had like a wand of Cure Wounds, and you still would have had your extra healing with Disciple of Life before, but it doesn't anymore.
I think that's the exact reason why they changed it though, because you can cast once you get to higher levels, you can cast channel divinity more times and use that
Well,
spark
Channel Divinity is
spark
not a
life or
spell.
whatever.
It never would have worked.
Yeah, but because you're getting access to more healing.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, because you like whenever you're up to like 4 or 5 for your proficiency bonus, you can cast that 5 times per day and heal that 5d8 or however much life you get that many times before a long rest.
It also kind of makes like thematic sense that your whatever god you're worshiping isn't going to help you when you're healing people with that staff.
Yeah.
Like if you use a staff of healing to cast cure wounds, and that's where you're getting the magic from. You're not using your godly magic. You don't get the +3.
I think it's mostly what BHC says, because you're getting so much extra healing already. It is a good balance.
Yeah.
So it's a nerf, but it's because you got a buff elsewhere. So I agree with that.
So level 6, Preserve Life. You can use your Channel Divinity to heal a group of the critically injured. As an action, you expend one of your Channel Divinity and present your Holy Symbol, restoring a number of hit points equal to 5 times your Cleric level. Choose any creatures within 30 feet of yourself, you can choose yourself, and divide those hit points among the chosen creatures. This feature can bring a creature's current hit points to no more than half its hit point maximum. It has some caveats to it, but it's not bad.
It is a boost, sort of. Like, it's much later than the Preserve Life from before, but I am noticing one difference. It used to say you cannot use this feature on undead or constructs. It doesn't say that anymore.
Ooh.
Now there's a couple construct and I'm not sure undead playable races, but the Autonome is actually a construct.
Yeah, and then you also have things like the Dampier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you can heal undead or constructs with this.
Cool.
Other than that, it looks pretty much the same, except for it being 6th level instead of 2nd. But once again, they already have another heal with their channel. So
yeah.
So this is just giving them like another type of another thing on their channel. So equals to 5 times your Cleric level. So like, yeah, so it's a bit different because normally your channel's only a single target right now for a heal. This is a bubble heal just for less. I like it. It's different, but it's not worse. It's not better. It's just different.
Yeah, it's not bad. Level 10, you got Blessed Healer. The healing spells you cast on others heal you as well. When you cast a spell with a spell slot on another creature that restores hit points to it, you regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level on the turn you cast the spell.
Once again, the only thing that's changed is that spell with a spell slot as opposed to spell at 1st level or higher.
Oh, yeah. You're not healing yourself with scrolls and wands and staves and stuff anymore. Okay. Other than that, it's exactly the same, I think.
Yep.
We don't have the Divine Strike, but we had that. Like, every cleric just gets that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14th level, we got Supreme Healing. When you would normally roll 1 or more dice to restore hit points to a creature with a spell that you cast with a spell slot, there it is again, don't roll those dice for the healing. Instead, use the highest number possible for each die. For example, instead of restoring 2d6 hit points to a creature with a spell, you restore 12. Just all the time?
Yeah, so it's just like it was before, except you get it at 14th instead of 17th. So you get it earlier, which is nice. Like 3 levels earlier.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's actually really nice. And again, it makes sense for the life domain.
I like seeing this at 14th versus 17th because you will see a lot more campaigns get to at least 14th level, but actually getting to 17th level, a lot less likely to happen. Those abilities don't get used very often.
Yep.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But I know like everything's been pushed up a little bit. Like even like all the classes capstones are at 18th level now, so they just realize people just generally are not getting to that 20th level mark. Sweet.
Oh, we'll get
I like the cleric. It seems a little more buffed out, a little more healing focused, especially this life domain. But I do like the subclass change. I like that you get to build your clerics. If you're going to play from level 1, you kind of want to discover your character as you play.
Yeah, no changes in spell slots. Yeah, everything's... Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. There's nothing I dislike. There's no, like, loss of hand crossbows or anything. It's just... I like it. It's pretty good. It's solid. It refined a few things I think needed refining.
Yeah, Jeremy, where the hell's my hand crossbows?
You need to redo Rogue. The entire Rogue.
The entire Rogue.
Just focus it on the hand crossbows.